Hey, Tosha, I have a question about the practical use of offering. I listened to last week's call and I agree that what's meant to come will come and that we shouldn't be attached to a desire. And I listened to the video, Dying to Love, but I feel like all these talks are just at a generic level. They're not about, when you're really suffering over somebody. Okay, I just have to say one thing with this before I go on with the rest of the letter. I, I would never say I don't talk usually in terms of shoulds because I don't think they really help people. So I would never say we shouldn't be attached to a desire. That's sort of punitive. I would say it's natural to be attached to desires. That comes with being in a human body. However, if you want to get out of hell, the hell of being attached to something that perhaps at the moment you're not receiving, the way out of that hell is to offer it to the divine from a very profound and sincere place. So to me, there's no should on this or spank yourself of having a desire or any of that. It's just when there's a great line that I posted from Adyashanti this week where he says something like, when do you let go? Usually most people let go when they've tried everything else and nothing else has worked, and then they let go. I was like, yep, that's it. So there's no should on it. It's just often people find this work of offering when they are so exhausted by fighting reality that they really want a different way to live. And when you do that, it's amazing how miracles can come. Not the agenda of the ego, but miracles can come. So let me try to help you with this, and I'll read what you're saying. But this is definitely not a generic thing. I have Libra rising, so I can't even count the number of times I've used offering about relationship topics, both family, romantic, friends. This is not generic. This is the real deal. This is when you say, this difficulty with this person does not belong to me. There's no generic. This is when you are in such pain and suffering that burden belonging to you, the ego, is unbearable. And then when it's actually offered fully, the casting of the burden that the Bible talks about, when that is fully offered, something else occurs. When you really say, okay, God, I have done everything I can on this, but now let me feel whole with or without this. There's no blame that you have the desire. There's no shame about it. There's nothing. But when you're tired of suffering about it and you begin to say, let me be whole with or without this particular person, that's when the magic begins. And that's the deep offering. So when you say, and my relationship with that specific person is my true desire, I don't know how to turn this into a preference. All right. So, I really like your honesty on this. And that is really where I would go back to is, again, not generic. Focus on that person in your mind. Focus on them. And then you really begin to do the prayers. In a sense, that person, to go back to the early letter in this call, the one about calling things in, the piece of calling things in that's true is you could say, these people that come to us with these karmic and obsessive draws that no matter what you do, you can't stay away, they're often the greatest teachers about wholeness. That's really, I don't know if you ever got to hear the Mars-Venus call, but the Mars-Venus course, but it was really all about that. It was like you re-own the projection. If this is so intense what you're describing, like I think it's at work and everywhere you go, you keep being around each other. So you do the focus of saying, all right, I'm holding this person in my mind. Dear God, I can't take this obsession anymore. I can't take the pain over this. Let me begin to see what it is. What is this person embodying that I need to reown on the inside? That's what that entire course was about. What do they embody that I need to reown on the inside? Help me. Let a miracle happen that I can feel whole with or without this person. Now, once you feel whole with or without them, you don't, you may still desire them. You may still be attracted to them. We're attracted to whoever the heck we're attracted to. But that feeling of I can't live without them and I have to have this at all costs, and if I don't, life won't be worth living, that starts to abate because you're finally focused on the self-wholeness, the reowning of the projection. So that's what I would recommend. No blame on it, no shame. It's just part of being in a human body. But I found it doesn't work. This is like one of those situations where, again, it's the limitation of manifesting. If you just keep saying over and over, I'm going to visualize us together, I'm going to just keep telling the universe, damn it, bring him, I want it, I need it, I'm going to hate you if you don't bring him, that will do nothing. That will just keep bringing you over and over into the sense of separation. Once you start to say, let me feel whole with or without this, let me reown the projection, let everything about this belong to the divine, then it's the darndest thing. For some people, if you're an old soul, that actually can be when the person becomes available to you because you're no longer trying to use them to become whole. They often just walk up and they're like, okay, I'm free, I'm ready, because you're not using them on that level anymore to attach your whole yourself. So I hope that makes some sense. I know we get to some question about this almost every week, and I love doing them because this has been my route, and it really works. It's very powerful. You can even start to bless that person instead of going, wow, why is this person in my life to torture me? You're like, what do they represent that I'm now getting to reown, to step into my full wholeness? Once you reown it, anyone could come. You're already whole. You're not using them to become whole. Then you can just be with somebody and love them. It takes all the drama of I can't live without you, it's torture, it all just, you're already whole. So, all right. Thank you so much for that one. I hope that helped.